Chapter 104. This psalm tells of the beauty of creation, describing that which was created on each of the 6 days of creation. It proclaims the awesomeness of God who sustains it all. Chapter 105. When David brought the Holy Ark up to the city of David, he composed this psalm and sang it before the ark. He recounts all the miracles that God performed for the Jews in Egypt, sending before them Joseph, who was imprisoned only to be liberated by God, eventually attaining the status of one who could imprison the princes of Egypt without consulting Pharaoh.
My soul, bless the Lord. Lord my God, you are greatly exalted. You have garbed yourself with majesty and splendor. You enwrap yourself with light as with a garment. You spread the heavens as a curtain. He roofs his heavens with water. He makes the clouds his chariot. He moves them on the wings of the wind. He makes the winds his messengers, the blazing fire his servants. He established the earth on its foundations, that it shall never falter. The depths covered it as a garment, the waters stood above the mountains. At your exhortation they fled, at the sound of your thunder they rushed away. They ascended mountains, they flowed down valleys, to the place which you have assigned for them. You set a boundary which they may not cross, so that they should not return to engulf the earth. He sends forth springs into streams, they flow between the mountains. They give drink to all the beasts of the field, the wild animals quench their thirst. The birds of the heavens dwell beside them, they raise their voice from among the foliage. He irrigates the mountains from his clouds above, the earth is satiated from the fruit of your works. He makes grass grow for the cattle, and vegetation requiring the labor of man to bring forth food from the earth. And wine that gladdens man's heart, oil that makes the face shine, and bread that sustains man's heart. The trees of the Lord drink their fill, the cedars of Lebanon which he planted. Wherein birds build their nests, the stork has her home in the cypress. The high mountains are for the wild goats, the rocks are a refuge for the rabbits. He made the moon to calculate the festivals, the sun knows its time of setting. You bring on darkness and it is night, when all the beasts of the forest creep forth. The young lions roar for prey, and seek their food from God. When the sun rises, they return and lie down in their dens. Then man goes out to his work, to his labor until evening. How manifold are your works, O Lord! You have made them all with wisdom, the earth is full of your possessions. This sea, vast and wide, where there are countless creeping creatures, living things small and great. Their ships travel, there is the Leviathan that you created to frolic therein. They all look expectantly to you to give them their food at the proper time. When you give it to them, they gather it, when you open your hand, they are satiated with goodness. When you conceal your countenance, they are terrified, when you take back their spirit, they perish and return to their dust. When you will send forth your spirit they will be created anew, and you will renew the face of the earth. May the glory of the Lord be forever, may the Lord find delight in his works. He looks at the earth, and it trembles, he touches the mountains, and they smoke. I will sing to the Lord with my soul, I will chant praise to my God with my entire being. May my prayer be pleasant to him, I will rejoice in the Lord. Praise the Lord. Offer praise to the Lord, proclaim his name, make his deeds known among the nations. Sing to him, chant praises to him, speak of all his wonders. Glory in his holy name, may the heart of those who seek the Lord rejoice. Search for the Lord and his might, seek his countenance always. Remember the wonders that he has wrought, his miracles, and the judgments of his mouth. O descendants of Abraham his servant, children of Jacob, his chosen ones. He is the Lord our God, his judgments extend over the entire earth. He remembers his covenant forever, the word which he has commanded to 1,000 generations. The covenant which he made with Abraham, and his oath to Isaac. He established it for Jacob as a statute, for Israel as an everlasting covenant. Stating, to you I shall give the land of Canaan the portion of your inheritance. When they were but few, very few, and strangers in it. They wandered from nation to nation, from one kingdom to another people. He permitted no one to wrong them, and admonished kings for their sake. Do not touch my anointed ones, and do not harm my prophets. He called for a famine upon the land, he broke every source of bread. He sent a man before them. Joseph was sold as a slave. They afflicted his foot with chains, his soul was put into iron. Until the time that his words came, the decree of the Lord purified him. The king sent word and released him, the ruler of nations set him free. He appointed him master of his house and ruler of all his possessions, to imprison his princes at will, and to enlighten his elders. Thus Israel came to Egypt, and Jacob sojourned in the land of Ham Egypt. He multiplied his nation greatly, and made it mightier than its adversaries. He turned their hearts to hate his nation, to conspire against his servants. He sent Moses, his servant, Aaron, whom he had chosen. They placed among them the words of his signs, miracles in the land of Ham. He sent darkness and made it dark, and they did not defy his word. He transformed their waters to blood, and killed their fish. Their land swarmed with frogs in the chambers of their kings. He spoke, and hordes of wild beasts came, and lice throughout their borders. He turned their rains to hail, flaming fire in their land. It struck their vine and fig tree, it broke the trees of their borders. He spoke, and grasshoppers came, locusts without number. And it consumed all grass in their land, it ate the fruit of their soil. Then he smote every firstborn in their land, the first of all their potency. And he took them out with silver and gold, and none among his tribes stumbled. Egypt rejoiced at their leaving, for the fear of Israel had fallen upon them. He spread out a cloud for shelter, and a fire to illuminate the night. He opened a rock and waters flowed, they streamed through dry places like a river. For he remembered his holy word to Abraham his servant. And he brought out his nation with joy, his chosen ones with song. He gave them the lands of nations, they inherited the toil of peoples, so that they might keep his statutes and observe his laws. Praise the Lord.
If you enjoyed these psalms, please like, subscribe, and comment.